was, but his efforts, his stats in terms of goals, assists for the World Cup, it is mind-boggling. And sorry, what a beautiful looking trophy it is, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, all applaudits go to Messi, fantastic. But they were running on fumes today, and Spain just wore him down. And even at towards the end, I haven't said that, we were still watching it, us going, listen, he still might do something. And they end up creating that one chance, but...
and he won the World Cup. Let's not forget, he has won the World Cup.
Of course.
So
yeah, he's won all the big prizes. Of course, yeah, let's not cry ourselves to sleep tonight over him. And there's a lot of things we necessarily, you mightn't like about Argentina, but you have to admire them as well. Where they stick at it. As I said, just street fighters.
When they were 2-0 down to Egypt, I didn't think in a million years we'd be seeing them here today. So the fact they've got this far, but just one too far against a team who just have such good control.
Remember, we're talking about another nearly 120-minute game for someone like Messi, and he's done it again. And I think today with Spain and the way they keep the ball, and it's very difficult for Argentina, as tough as they are and as the warriors that they are, to try and get him the ball, for him to do anything. But we still saw right at the death there, in a couple of instances, it was still him at 39 who was creating those chances. It's going to be interesting to see, you know what I mean? Because you have to say that he probably is coming to the end of it internationally, how they move from here, yes. Argentina, without him, because he has been absolutely unbelievable for them.
And as I think you said earlier, Gary, with Messi goes a level of aura and intimidation as well. People will be lining up, there he is, in the tunnel when they next play Argentina, when he's not there, and go, oh, right, OK, we've got a bit more of a chance here than maybe we thought.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there'll be a huge drop-off, not just actually with him, because the rest of this team, the average age of that Argentina team today was 30.
There's Ramos and Messi, yeah.
A lot of them are coming
towards... They had some battles, yes.
A lot of them are coming towards the end of their careers. It's not just him. And it's been the end of, obviously, a great side. You've got some sort of what would be successive finals. So it's not just Messi, but obviously they are going to lose him massively. There'll be a massive revamp, a massive reset for the country.
I think they're more than capable, and maybe not as good as Messi, is producing players for the future. Again, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Huge loss.
World Cup overall, Roy, what'd you say? How would you mark it?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Brooklyn. Yeah, I've enjoyed the games. I've enjoyed watching the attacking players. But it's great we see Spain, like the last Euros, we see the top teams turning up. And again, I go back to...
And the top boys as well, Roy. The top boys. The top boys.
The top lads turn up, the attacking players. But I'm also delighted to see a team like Spain where defensively they've got a foundation and pride in defending. We can never forget about that part of the game. It's so important. You've got to have both to win these big prizes.
Gary, your overall verdict on the World Cup?
I think, look, the final wasn't the best game, which is obviously something that will last in people's minds, but it's been, I think, fantastic. It really has. The setting of the games, the Cape Verde story, which obviously cements the participation of 48 teams, and the best football team won it. And I think football was the winner at the end. I think it would have been if Argentina had won that game at the end and scrapped over the line.
I think a lot of people here in America might have gone, is that what football's all about? You play like that, you're world champions.
It wouldn't have been right. I think Spain were a deserved winner. The refereeing throughout the tournament was outstanding. I do think the referee, possibly in the England game and maybe today, could have got a grip of the Argentinians a lot quicker. But generally, it's been very good.
But we just shouldn't be too harsh on Argentina. I'm getting a bit fed up with everyone and criticising Argentina because you have to find different ways to win.
Yeah.
Argentina are a brilliant team. Yeah. They can't be all as stylish and brilliant as Spain, so you have to find a different way. So they deserve it today, but go easy on the losers.
You know what, I think, like, again, the best team did win. I think they've been the best team in the tournament, but I think that from a tournament point of view, I don't think we could just brush over things that's happened in this tournament and things that's happened for me personally, the way the Iranian team were treated. For me, you know, as a sportsman, they deserve their chance to have a fair crack at it. Same with the referee. I think things like that shouldn't be forgotten because obviously once the game starts, we forget about those things. But again, football is the winner here. But we can't forget those things.
No, we shouldn't forget it. I think the three hosts have been excellent.
Yes.
Pau Kubasi is the young player of the tournament. One day he's had young player of the tournament and a World Cup winner. The three hosts have been extremely welcoming. I'm thinking immediately of the reaction of the Mexicans towards England in the Azteca, and all the England fans saying they were absolutely fantastic and you know, swapping shirts and swapping stories and having a drink with each other. Same in Canada. And here in America, I was out yesterday trying to go to the cinema.
Yes.
It was sold out, the Odyssey, and I just heard a chap saying in the shopping centre, oh, France have scored another goal.
Yes.
And I just thought, that's interesting. Just Americans in the way that we have at home.
Yeah, what you should have done is gone to Toy Story. That's what you there's other movies out there.
But it does look like as if, to some extent, in the States here, particularly because Mexico's a football country we know anyway, people are understanding why we're
I think so. It all helps. Listen, there's obviously always challenges with World Cups. We had it in Qatar, we had it in Russia, etc. But also, we're footballing people, and we have to admire the football. And we see young kids like that getting awards and winning World Cups. Then that's what the game's about. Because when we were growing up, imagine, we meant to be players before the game. Imagine in the tunnel playing in the World Cup final.
That's amazing.
Wow.
19.
Wow.
You know, everybody's talking about him as well, Roy, about, oh, let's see how he does in the World Cup. Listen, again, when you look at someone like Spain, Spain will, the goalkeepers.
Golden Glove Award. Well, he would be. If you've conceded one goal, you would be the Golden Glove Award.
But I think Jude Bellingham is just loved globally.
Future England captain, Gary.
Yeah, an absolutely incredible tournament he's had. So, well, you know, special mention for him. But he's been brilliant, the goalkeeper. He's been so aggressive, so proactive. He's out of his goal all the time.
Like a sweeper, wasn't he?
He was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. So the young player is the Spain centre-back and the Golden Glove winner is the goalkeeper. That says it all. And you were talking about the fact that, you know, per value, the Spanish team would be nothing like the French team. He plays for Bilbao. So on the Euros and the World Cup, he will win far more with Spain than he ever does with his club.
Look, there are a few Spanish players who are worth big money, but let's be clear, that squad would not be worth anything like the value of the French, the English, the Portuguese, the German squad probably even, and yet they've been far the best team. Player of the tournament, Rodri.
Unbelievable.
Why are we talking about money? We should be talking about money. Come on. Hey, just because we're in New York, it's not about the dollar.
Rodri, player of the tournament.
To see him get that is amazing for what's happened to
Spanish
him.
Kings in there as well. Oh, yes, bearing
when
in
he got
mind,
that
coming back from an
injury,
ACL.
that's unbelievable. For him to come back and to play like he's played up to that point, you know, and he looks like he's back to what he was.
You came back from an ACL. How hard is it to get to that level?
It's difficult. Obviously, you're getting the best of care and the best medical. I was very lucky, obviously, at United. Brilliant medical staff around and brilliant surgeons. But again, it's a good example of a lot of young kids out there who pick up injuries and they have doubts. And then you see players like that coming back from serious injuries. And obviously, it's not just the physical side of it, it's the mental side of it. And when he did come back, he was a bit rusty and it took him a few months. But he's back to his very, very best.
Do you remember when they didn't turn up for him winning the Ballon d'Or because they didn't think he was worth it? And you see what he's achieved in the last few years.
Oh, the Real Madrid players didn't turn up, did they?
Yeah, you think about the massive sort of what would be scrutiny that was put on the fact that he won the Ballon d'Or, and he's been absolutely outstanding. The influence he's had on Manchester City and on the Spanish national team is incredible.
Is that the same Real Madrid who didn't have a single player in the Spanish squad?
Yes, that's the one. That's the very one.
Say that, Gary, you never turned up when I got PFA.
Right, let's go back to the stadium.
I was watching Toy Story.
The Golden Boot. Let's go back to Sam Matterface. Oh, no, the Golden Boot's not here, but it is Kylian Mbappe. Here we go. Let's go back to Sam. Lionel Messi. Great respect for one of the greatest players of all time. Back to you, Sam.
Well, let's start by giving the tournament its due as Lionel Messi picks up his runners-up medal. It might not be a final that will be long cherished by anyone outside of Spain, but whatever you thought beforehand of 48 teams, the biggest World Cup ever, he actually delivered 308 goals, roughly 3 per game, which is brilliant, the highest scoring tournament in 2 generations. We had Curacao, population, what, 150-odd thousand, the smallest nation to play at a World Cup. Cape Verde frightening the life out of both of these finalists, the smallest country ever to reach the knockout stages. 9 African sides in the last 32, never happened before. Haaland dragging Norway to their first quarter-final. Ronaldo scoring at a 6th World Cup. Mbappe winning the Golden Boot and going past closer to stand alone on the top of the all-time list of scorers. 3 countries, 16 cities, 5.5 weeks, and it ends here. And the FIFA president up there with the president of the United States handing out the runners-up medals. Argentina gave this tournament a pulse at times. 3 magnificent comebacks that had no business happening, really. 90 minutes in total of extra time. A 39-year-old captain who turned most nights into theatre, but just not this one. They scrapped too much, looked fatigued, and the world champions have to settle for silver. The tears roll down the face of Lionel Messi. He knows that his fairy tale wanted one more page, but on this occasion, Ali McCoyston, Lee Dixon. Football just said no.
Well, that face kind of sums it up, doesn't it? Broken-hearted. But the one thing I've got to mention before we go any further, I'm delighted the way things have calmed down, and I love the reaction between both sets of players when the Spanish lads were applauding the Argentinian boys when they were up getting their medals, because what we saw at the end of the game was disgraceful. So
getting their medals not only from Donald Trump and Gianni Infantino, but Pedro Sanchez of Spain, the President, the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, and the President of Mexico, Claudio Sheinbaum, as well. It is of little consolation to a man that has given us so many fantastic moments.
Yeah, I think that's the sign maybe we're all fearful of, that it is his last one, 43. Next time it comes round, he's given everything, and he's delighted a lot of people over the years. And what a player, absolute genius.
And now the moment of celebration. The Argentines sing to their fallen heroes, but the Spanish will now raise theirs up. Their flag unfurled, a giant World Cup will be behind them, and they're about to get their hands on just over 5 kilograms of 18-karat gold. It's only 14.5 inches tall, and it is waiting for Rodri to lift it. A moment to savour for the winners. Each player gets announced to the crowd in number order. And I think one thing we learned just by watching this is the sheer depth that this squad has had over the course of this 5.5 weeks.
well, we said that, didn't we? You look at the substitutes that, you know, that come off the bench for Spain. So whether it's Torres, Perna, Mourinho had a massive part to play, didn't it, with goals in quarter-finals and semi-finals, and obviously the chance in that game itself. But the squad that Spain had backed them up, and listen, effectively, they are the best team in the tournament. They were the best team in the tournament, and that's why they're up there at this moment in time.
Ferran Torres going up now. Marcos Llorente started the World Cup as the right-back, and then Pedro Porro took over. Fabian Ruiz and Rodri so important in the middle of the park in certain games of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that control that they have, whoever plays in that midfield area, is key to everything. The back four's as good as anybody's we've seen of late, but the protection they get and the rhythm that they pass the ball out from the back, and everything is synced and together, and everything defensively, midfield, attacking-wise, you might say. Down the middle, they don't score an awful lot of goals, but when you've got that much control in a game, eventually you will win most of them you're playing.
Pedro Porro got his first international goals at this tournament. Dani Olmo kissing the trophy. You're only allowed to touch it if you're a head of state or you have won the thing. They can't wait to get their hands on it. There's Aymeric Laporte. He left Manchester City, ended up in Saudi Arabia. He's back now in Spain. And he was playing against the country of his birth in the semi-final, France, but he declared for Spain a few years ago and is now revelling that. Alex Baena, impressive. Williams thought he'd won it and then helped the ball back to Ferran Torres to ensure he won it. And a boy who became very much a man at this tournament, Lamine Yamal, whose name adorns the back of many a Spanish jersey. He's only at the beginning of his football journey, but he's already a European champion and now a world champion as well. Mikel Oyarzabal, what a tournament it's been for him. 5 at this tournament, 30 for his country. No one's ever scored more than 5. Lamine Yamal's little brother, who's been a social media star. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but he's been absolutely fantastic over the tournament as well. Kabasi and Unai Simon have already picked up their awards, and the champions now gearing up to lift the trophy for the first time in 16 years. Cucurella walks onto that podium. De La Fuente, he deserves a lot of credit, doesn't he? The teacher who today beat his own pupil. That defence that Cucurella was a big part of, gave up just 1 goal over the course of the whole thing. It is very much a ethos where the team is first, a team that he devised. He was able to leave Pedri, Gavi, Williams, Marino, Raya on the bench so often.
Well, his stats, smart. I beg your pardon, Sam, in the tournament football is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Is it 114 drawn 1? I mean, have a think about that.
Well, he's a special guy in terms of what he's achieved with Spain. Looked after the youth ranks for a while, the Olympic team, and then progressed through to the senior side after a period of failure, really. But it's not like that anymore. And here comes the man who has won the Golden Ball for Player of the Tournament. He gets his medal, not for the first time, a winner of the Euros. In fact, he's won everything that's ever been available to him, and not many people can say that. He is the man who has literally completed football tonight. He had won most things. Now he's won it all. All that's left now is for the moment to celebrate the triumph. It's taken guts, but they get the glory. Rodri has the World Cup in his hands. The Spanish team takes centre stage, and so they should, because they are the ones who have made history. Rodri sends the World Cup into the sky, and Spain, the champions of Europe, champions of the world, are masters of the universe. On a day in which they have been outnumbered significantly in the stadium, they have found a way, as they have done all tournament, to break their opponents' hearts. They have been the most ruthless, the most secure, and as the Argentines stream away, heartbroken and beaten, Spain relish a second World Cup win.
Spain celebrate as Lionel Messi exits stage left, but it's very much Spain's day in the MetLife Stadium. More reaction and more analysis to come in a couple of moments' time from our Brooklyn studio.
Mum's asked him to water the hydrangeas, but he doesn't have a clue. Oh, that's pinpoint from Gemini. And just like that, the dry spell is over.